Konnichiwa, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to be talking about bad news. Eigo desu. それでは行きましょう. So let's get going. This is the 4th year of the Sales Japan Series podcast, and we are broadcasting around the world from the Beverly Hills of Japan, Minato-ku. It is Chic Central. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, the best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery, will be released shortly. In this podcast, I want to help you to survive COVID-19. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn, who, unlike many other podcast hosts, have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesdays, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcast Show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. This is episode number 235, and we are talking about dealing with bad news when selling. If we try to hide the bad news from the buyer, will that work? How long will it work for? Bernie Madoff died in prison. His wife left in a perilous state, one son dead from suicide and the other from cancer. I call that family devastation. He got away with his lies and cheating for quite a while. He offered modest but steady returns. He told people he had no capacity to take their money, then rang them back at a later stage to say there was an opening. They were grateful for the chance to give him their money. The 2008 recession showed who was skinny dipping in the markets, as Warren Buffett termed it, and Bernie could no longer sustain the fraud. If we are loose with the facts and the truth with our buyers, how will that go toward fostering the reorder culture we want to create? The usual ploy is to downplay the costs by offering the best case example and not offering the most realistic case. I was reminded of this the other day while watching a video from the president of this particular organization. He wanted more money, a lot more money for this project. Let's park the fact he was a hopeless advocate for his case, bumbling his way through his pitch. The examples he offered were very carefully culled to make the pain look minuscule. The obvious problem with that, though, was the vast majority of the stakeholders did not fit into that minimum damage category. He was trying to avoid the pain, but that came across as dodgy and duplicitous. We have to reach for our financial calculators and work out the damage for ourselves, and we are left to our own conclusions. It would have been much better to meet the elephant in the room head on and explain why the bigger number was a good decision. That way, the seller controls the narrative, not the buyer. Call out the number, then justify the living daylights out of it. Talk about the long-term benefits and the opportunity costs if we take no action now. Pile on the value of the proposition in the context of the number. Trying to talk about the value proposition unrelated to the number doesn't fly. Let me start the whole paragraph again. Trying to talk about the value proposition unrelated to the number doesn't fly. We need to connect them together as we explain the value. We unveil the ugly number, but wrap the pain up in the value to come, to the glorious future, to the sunny uplands, the better days hereafter. Context is everything here. Our hero didn't do that. And I believe he missed a great opportunity to get people to back his proposal. Find out more when we come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public programs, but we also do custom-made in-house classes. Now, we do them in our super safe classroom, we do them live online, and we do them in Japanese, and we do them in English. Today's show is sponsored by, on May the 12th, our cross and upselling program. On the 14th of May, we're doing leading and managing. 18th of May, time management. 21st, developing subordinates. The 28th of May, we're doing communicating with different personality styles. You can find out more about those programs on our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com, and you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Get my best-selling books, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery, and my new book, Japan Presentations Mastery. If you like learning by watching videos, we have over 1,000 for you there on Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out Mondays. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders in Japan from SMEs all the way up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. And don't forget, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Welcome back. When we are selling, there is a number attached to the service or good. Actual tangible objects are easier to understand from a pricing point of view. Services, though, are nebulous. I was selling some training to a major corporation. The people I was dealing with were HR folk located outside Japan. If you live here, you understand the cost of living and all the relativities which apply around pricing. If you're in Hong Kong or Singapore, you don't. Living in these low-tax, low-cost environments makes Japan's numbers look stratospheric. They told me our pricing was much higher than this Hong Kong-located firm who delivered for them in English-speaking countries in Asia. I asked them why they didn't use them for Japan. Of course, they didn't know Japan, had no capacity to live here in cultural and linguistic context, so that is why they were talking to me. Yet, the expectation was my pricing would fit in with this other vendor based in Hong Kong. Who were these people? I checked them out. They are nobodies. They're not global. They don't have 109 years of credibility or 60 years on the ground in Japan. In the end, I had to do a demonstration of what we would deliver. It blew them away because the value proposition was so much greater than the other firm. Now, the cost, the higher price, the bigger ask, that larger number made sense. I didn't fold on the price for 2 simple reasons. I know our value, and I know what companies here will pay for the value we generate. Yes, it is COVID, and yes, it is perilous for training companies at the moment, but you have to believe in your value-based pricing, and you have to be prepared to fire the client. Don't run away from the hard conversations. Instead, find ways to demonstrate and show your value. Keep honing your persuasion skills to sustain the narrative about why they should buy from you, and buy from you now, and keep buying from you. Thank you for joining the Sales Japan series. If you found the program useful, please work on your karma and share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Immediately apply what you've learned today. Use it and go out there and survive. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy in your corner, committed to your success here in Nippon.